want to know, I'm Alexis, aka the Sloth Reader, and I'm here today to do a video all about my 5 least favorite tropes. Now, when I say tropes, I kind of am using that very loosely because I couldn't actually think of 5 like tropes that I really dislike, because for the most part I'm kind of the opinion that like most every trope can be done well. Like, I don't outright hate love triangles. I don't outright even hate insta-love depending on like how it's written. It's like 3 tropes and then 2 writing plot elements that I really dislike, that I just figured would make for being part of this video. So I have done a video all about my favorite bookish buzzwords or tropes, which I will link down below. Unlike in that video, I'm not going to have as many examples to show you guys because I don't read these things because I know I don't like them. So I'm not going to have that many examples to show, but I do have examples for some. So we'll just go ahead and get into it. If you know me at all, or if you've watched any of my other videos where I've talked about least favorite tropes, you know what the first one I'm going to talk about is, because I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of the way. And that is the trope that I refer to as the Gale-esque trope, which is like a character that's written, and it's typically the long best friend of the main character, the main character is typically female, the best friend is typically male, and basically this male main character claims to have always been in love with his best friend as long as they've been friends, but he never acts on it, and a lot of times he typically kind of has trysts with other female characters. He doesn't actually display any interest in the female character until the female character expresses interest in someone else. And once she does that, he kind of gets to be a jerk. He becomes very possessive. He starts kind of telling the main character that she's becoming a different person, and you know, her influence by this other man is like making her into someone that he doesn't know anymore, and he proceeds to tell her what she can and can't do, and he proceeds to basically tell her like, I know what's best for you, and blah blah blah, you're becoming, yeah, all of that stuff. I hate that. That is my singular least favorite trope. I absolutely despise that, and nothing will make me hate a male character more than when they fall into this trope. So I call it the Gale-esque character because I feel like Gale was the first time I ever really noticed it as being a thing. Gale is a good example. Mal from the Shadow and Bone trilogy is another good example. Simon from the first 2 or so Mortal Instruments books falls into that. The character of Killorn from the Red Queen series also falls into this. Now, luckily, as love triangles have become less common in recent years, I've noticed this trope has kind of also fallen, and I'm beyond happy because I hate the trope so much. Like, give me a love triangle between the main character who meets 2 new people, because if one of them ends up being the best friend, this is always what ends up happening, and I hate it. The next thing I'm going to mention is more of like a plot element that I just don't enjoy, and that's time travel. I don't enjoy books with time travel. I have yet to read a book that involves time travel that I've actually liked, and I don't know why that is. I think it's because time travel for me feels like something that's so rule heavy. Like, I feel like, you know, when you're messing with like time, you can't just willy-nilly go about it. And I feel like every book I've tried to read with time travel really kind of skates that line of being like not, you know, it's like it's still people going back in time and screwing with history, or going in the future and screwing with the future. And it's like, I don't know, it's just, it's never satisfying to me. I don't enjoy it. I know some people who love books with time travel, and it's weird to say that because I was a huge Doctor Who fan for years, and Doctor Who obviously has like time travel elements, but even in that I always was like calling BS on the time travel because I was like, there are not clearly defined rules here. But I just don't enjoy time travel, and I don't know what the specific pinpoint of that is, but you will rarely ever see me read a book with time travel because I just don't enjoy it. The next trope I'm going to mention is one I think I might be alone on, because I know a lot of other people who really like this trope, and that's the main character who loves to read. I roll my eyes so hard every time our main character's like, I'd rather just be home with a book. And I'm like, okay. And like, I know other people like it, but I just do not. I think it's for two reasons. The first is it feels like pandering. It's like, I'm already reading your book, you don't need to pander to me. Like, we all know we're readers, like, we're all in on the joke. We all know how good books are. Like, you don't have to sell it to me by having your main character be like, I love reading. I just don't enjoy it. And the other thing is that there's so many awesome, like, hobbies that people do. People are into music, people are into art, people are into science, like, people are into math. There are so many cool hobbies that you can give your character. Why would you choose reading? Like, why would you choose the hobby we're all there for? Why would you choose the hobby that's in, like, 50,000 other books? Like, I want to read a book about a main character who loves to ride bicycles. I love to read books where the main character has an interest in film because that's a hobby I have. It's like, I don't know, there's just so many other things you can do. Why would you choose reading? Like, you don't have to sell me on how awesome reading is. I already know I'm a reader. I don't know. I just roll my eyes so hard every time a main character is like, I don't want to talk to people, I just want to read books. It's like, alright, cool. That's like all of us now. This just became self-insert for all of us. And I don't enjoy that. The next one I'm going to mention is another one that's kind of more of a plot element, and it's what I call the power of love ending, which is another one that I strongly dislike. Basically, it's when everything is setting up to this massive showdown in a story, and what ends up happening is instead of there being this epic showdown, the main character makes the villain realize what they're doing is wrong, or they beat the villain with the power of love. I hate that. That to me, I'm sorry, is just not good writing. Like, that to me feels lazy. It's like you set up everything for this epic showdown and then you were just like, crap, I don't know how to do this epic showdown, so I'm just going to make my main character conquer the villain with love. And I'm probably gonna get some hate for this, and I'm fully going into this knowing that, but the best example I have for this trope is not a book, but it's a TV show, and it is the season 5 finale of Supernatural, which, if you guys don't know, was supposed to be the ending of Supernatural. It was only supposed to be 5 seasons. Actually, if I go into this tangent, I'll be here for forever, but I have a lot of issues with Supernatural. But, all of that being said, the season 5 finale of Supernatural is the prime example of the power of love ending. Everything was building up to this really epic showdown and love. The love that the two brothers, Sam and Dean Winchester, had for each other conquers literal Satan. I hate that. I hate that so much. Like, oh my god, it's not good. There's never a time I've read it or I've seen it and I've been like, yeah, that was good. That was preferable to the epic showdown I was promised. No, I really dislike it a lot. And the fifth and final trope I'm going to mention is one that I feel like is very specific, and I don't even have an example of it because I just don't enjoy it. So I kind of go out of my way to avoid books that kind of have this. And it's a love triangle that features two siblings. So a girl who's torn between a pair of brothers, or very rarely a boy who's torn between two sisters. I've actually read it too, where it's like a boy torn between a mom and a daughter. I've read that as well. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy love triangles where it includes two members from the same family. I know some people really like it because it definitely is like a taboo layer to the love triangle. And I feel like, to sum up why I don't, I think the main reason for me is just because family is such an important aspect, and I love reading books that have a strong family element. And what ends up always happening is this person, whoever it is, comes between two people who formerly loved each other, right? Like this pair of brothers who literally they were each other's, best friend. Like they're each other's wingman, each other's go-to person, and then this person comes between them, and suddenly they can't stand each other because they're fighting over a girl. And I hate that because I'm like, no, I want to see family in books, you know, that might be dysfunctional, but, you know, that can work through their stuff. And I hate to see siblings, like, be torn apart because of a love triangle. I guess it's because, like, I just prefer the family than that love triangle part. So I'm like, no, don't do this to me. But I don't enjoy that trope at all. And I know a lot of people who do, who are like, oh, makes it so much more interesting. And I'm just like, I don't enjoy that at all. No. Alrighty guys, so those were me talking about my least favorite plot elements, tropes, stuffs in books. I would absolutely love to know what's your least favorite trope. And you might as well go ahead in this video and tell me what one of your favorite tropes is. If you like what I do, upload videos on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and I'll see you guys soon with another one.